Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. We are here on bonus day 2. And if you have been part of listening to this, today is going to be the best information that I've been able to give out, to give to you, to make sure that you are doing the things you need to do to be successful. Yesterday, I set out in day 1 that I wanted to make sure that if you did make $100,000 last year, here is the reason why, and then let's make sure it never happens again. And so today I'm going to give you some concrete. I'm going to put some slides in here. I'm going to make sure that you have every tool because if you get this down, if you understand this in a way that you work on this every single day, I would say it's almost impossible to not make at least $100,000 a year. And I would say if you're thinking about your clients and the people that you want to get from you, if you get good at this, you almost never have an issue with them doing business with you. And so, if you are ready, I think I want to jump into it. You're going to make $100,000. I want to do this quickly. We got the rest of the week, but this is day 2. Make sure you got something, even if you have to pause this, take some notes, put some stuff down. All right, and so I'm going to jump in and just have some slideshows in here, I guess. And so this is the art of effective communication. Yesterday, I talked about the 4 levels of value. One being implementation, utilization, and then communication is being the number one thing that you have to be able to do. In fact, if you think of Warren Buffett says all your self worth and your self value and your ability to move forward is all based on your ability to communicate. And that this is, if you get good at this art of communication, you are going to be successful. And there's a few things that I'm going to talk about today that are reasons why your communication, if you're not where you want to be, I would probably be able to say, probably within 5 to 10 minutes, there's something wrong with the way that you are communicating. And so I'll just jump through these things here. And so one of the things that we think about connection and your ability to connect to others is everything. Your ability to initiate with others, your ability to engage with others, your ability to build is all based on your connection. And the problem that has been with connection is we tend to, and I'll talk about this in a little bit, but we tend to give content without connecting to somebody first. And I want you to think about the people that you have connected with before, the people that you love to listen to, the podcasts that you love to hear, the people that you are around that you want to listen to them even more than because somehow they've connected with you. There's something about the way that they talk to you, the way that they think about you, the way that they look at you, that they've connected automatically. And so one of the things in connection is having empathy and communication, right? If we have the ability to focus on others, if we have the ability to look at them first, instead of ourselves first, or what we're trying to convey, or the message. I said this yesterday, one of the myths of communication is that communication is taking place, but just not on a way, just not on a level of the words that come out, because that's only a certain percentage of communication. It's actually on your body language, on the way that you look at somebody, the way that your tone, all those different things are part of your ability to focus in on the others. And I'll say is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Well, how do you convey that you care? One of it is active listening, right? We got 2 ears and we have 1 mouth. If we're listening, if you think of a presentation or a talk, or sometimes you sit down with somebody, and if you're asking questions, that's great because then you're getting answers. But if you have dominated the conversation by giving content or information, then if you go back, and sometimes I love it's a good idea. Let's say you sit down at across the kitchen table, you sit down, go ahead and hit record on your phone. And if you go back and listen to it, and you've talked more than 50% of the time, I would say if you've talked more than 40% of the time or 35% of the time, you're not connecting and you're not listening. I'll say that again. You're not connecting and you're not listening if you're the one talking, because you can't talk and listen at the same time, right? We got to show that we value people, that we believe in people, that we love on people. And how do you show that you value them? Because you listen to them. So many times we come up with our presentation and we come up with the information that we think they need to know. But they don't care about all that information until they know that you care about them. And so get rid of the information. You can get to the information, get to what they're about, and listening to their questions and being able to answer them. It is the key if you're going to be successful in this. So, if you think about a great communicator named John Maxwell, John Maxwell wrote a book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, but one of the best books is The 16 Laws of Communication. If you get the opportunity, he says friendship first. He starts out even if you're going to talk with 10,000 people in it, and I've been to some of them where it's just a big room, and he says, "My name is John Maxwell, and I am your friend." He's telling people that there's no way he's the friend of 10,000 people, but when he's communicating with you, you think he's talking directly to you. So what more can you give if you're sitting across the kitchen table with somebody and you say, "This is my friendship first," right? Authentic connections, that you're making connections, that you have mutual growth. These are things that we make sure that you know what that person's all about way before you ever give any content. I can't emphasize how much we give content before we should. So when we think about, connections over content, right? If I can connect with somebody, it's more important than content. And we get so stuck on, I come here, this is the message I got to give you. I'm going to give you this message. It's going to happen. But we have to make a connection first, right? And if you're just on the surface level, you're not going to be able to do it. In a minute, I'm going to, here, I'm going to tie, I only have like 8 slides in this because I want you to get it, right? You can't just be surface level. You have to dig deep. You have to engage with whoever it is. You have to create a deep connection. How do you do that? By asking questions. You can do things like family, occupation, recreation, and then you get to your message. You talk about their family. You make something that you have in common. That's one of the things that I try to do within the first 30 seconds that I talk to somebody is I find something that I'm in common with. And if you're struggling to find something in common, let me help you. Let's talk about ways that you can do that where you're making, there's so many things that anybody can say. If you're listening, you find something about their life that you listen to that you can say. Oh, if he says, "I have a wife," oh, but well, when did you get married? If he says that I have a son, oh, really, I have kids. If he says that I work in business and I do farming equipment, oh man, my grandpa owned a farm. You talk about that, but you don't tell all about your grandpa's farm. You ask him about theirs. The last guy I talked to, he said, "I have a 25-acre lake." Oh my God, what is that like? What is fishing like? I don't fish. I have no desire to fish. I don't want to throw a pole out and sit on the shore of anything. But I don't care about it. It's about me connecting with him. And if he tells me he loves fishing, all of a sudden today, I love fishing because I want to connect to him. I want to learn about the fish. What kind of fish come out of there? You can spend more time, 80% of your time, just talking about connection. And if they trust you, right, then they know you care. And you're trying to develop trust, right? And that's how you get those deep connections. One of the things that, and I want you to hear this, and I want you to hear it very well with me right now, is we spend so much time trying to connect and communicate that we do an incredibly poor job at doing it. And one of the things that we do, and I don't know how well you can read this slide, but if we think of the lowest form of communication, which is email, email is a terrible way to connect with people. This platform was never, ever, listen to me here, never, ever designed to communicate. Email is an information tool. Let me say it again. Information tool. You can give out information after you've connected and communicated, but never try to communicate via email if you want to create connection. You think about it. I send you a birthday message. I say in your email, and I say happy birthday. What is the first thing you think of when you get one of those things? Oh, great, he's got an automated email birthday message that sends me out. He doesn't really care about me, because if he cared about me, he would call me and he would say happy birthday to me. But he's sending me an email. Imagine sending to your kids an email, if you have kids, or to your mom or to your spouse, happy birthday in an email. What does that convey? So if that conveys that to your spouse, how do you think it conveys to your customers or the people that you're trying to connect with? It does not. I'm telling you right now, stop emailing to communicate. It is the worst way. I did a study not too long when I was a consultant on a tech company, and the amount of emails that went through, and we realized that the company was losing. And I explain this someday if you need me to, but the company was losing over $500,000 a year by utilizing email as a communication tool. Proven. It is not a communication tool. Stop doing it. Stop emailing. If you want to make the kind of money you want to make, and you're communicating via email, and you're not just sending information via an email, I will tell you, if you look at the top producers or the top people that you want to emulate and you want to be, they have a style of communication that doesn't include email. Now, they might have some emails that go out. Now, you might even want to be playing the law of numbers. So here's what I would say. If you want to play the law of numbers, you just keep emailing. You continue to email if you want to play the law of numbers, and you do it to thousands and thousands of people and see what lands. Next level of that would be text messaging. So when you think about text messaging, or when you think about text messaging, that's better than email, because text messaging was designed to be a communication tool, right? You can text, you can tell people, they can hear, but they still can't hear your tone inside of a text message. But way better than email. So you can start to text people and communicate people, because that's how it was designed. And you can send out because it cares a little bit more. You can use those emojis. You can use, video within text. You can do a whole lot of things within text if you can't do it, because sometimes you can't, always be there to be able to, see somebody, or they hear you or talk to them, and they can respond when they want to, and you can respond when you want to. You can go back and forth. So the text message is much better than email, like 1,000 times better. And then you start making a phone call, because then they can hear your voice, they can hear your tone, they can ask you questions right away, and you get a response right away. And so that seems to be really a much better if you're on this line. So if you're trying to really connect with somebody, you don't want to send them an email. You can go ahead and send them a text, but then you want to start calling them on the phone. I know that there are several people within an organization that they call people on their birthday. And whether it's a voicemail or a live call, they get to hear your tone that says, happy birthday. What does that convey? I care about you. You're wonderful. You're awesome. Then we think about video. So whether you're doing, a Zoom call, because now they can see your face, they can see your eyes, they can see you looking them in the eye on the video calls. And of course, the best way you can do it is be there personally. There is a chemical that we give off when we're in proximity to people that says, that we care, we're in connection, we love each other, especially if you're looking them in the eye or you're giving them a hug. That is a biological, physical in your sphere that allows you to be able to do it. So first, if you can be in person, that's where you want to be. Second, if you can do Zoom, that's going to be better, or some kind of video call. Third, if you're going to do phone calls, that's better. Not as good as a video call. Text is even better. Email, all I can say is stop it. And finally, when we start thinking about embracing face-to-face interaction, that's how you're going to build trust, you're going to spark innovation, and you're going to foster that empathy. All right, so I got to do this under 15 minutes each day, because I will lose you. So tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit more about connectedness. I'm going to talk about your contributions. I'm going to talk about some stuff. But today, if there's anything you take from today's message, if there's anything that you can glean from this, is one, you got to be a better communicator, and we're going to work on doing that with these things that are there. And two, stop emailing if you're trying to create connection, right? And so you guys have a wonderful, awesome, just incredible day today, and we will look forward to talking to you for bonus day 3.